Good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. And we are still asleep. How about you?
Yeah, I'm barely waking up.
Yeah, I meant the audience.
Oh.
See, he's so asleep, he didn't understand when I said we, that I wasn't just talking about myself.
That was the rhetorical we. Okay, gotcha.
Is that the royal we?
That is the royal we. All right, Brian, we have Brian Hain with us today.
Oh, I'm back from the past.
That's right. He's back from the past, and he's listening to my grumpy butt as Tobin's asking me for help, and I'm like, don't you have that? Didn't you do that already?
I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
I am not a licensed marriage and family therapist. I will not interject in this conversation.
Are we going to have our first fight on air? Can we do that? With Brian here as like our referee?
Yeah, there you go.
In the red corner.
Ding, ding. No. Well, see, what it is, we've changed passwords around here, and I'm getting the show set up with all of the news and the commercials and the music, and getting the day started, because I have to do that, downloading the things I need to download and getting it all set up. And Tobin's like, I need the password. I'm like, I can't give you the password right now. So that's what happened.
I didn't need the password. Brian needed the password. Our guest. I was trying to be a good host.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the source of all distress
That's
this
right.
morning.
It's your fault.
My wife is right.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so if you've never heard the show before, we are on The Brink. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Brian Hain.
And Brian Hain is a comedian who has played, what is that place in Claremont called?
The Flappers Comedy Club.
Flappers Comedy Club. You've played in Claremont. You've played in Burbank.
Yes, at the Flappers Comedy Club.
You've played in Redlands. I know you've played in not at Flappers, but you've played. I think we saw you
night at
the Royal Falconer.
Oh,
British
that's right.
Club,
It's
yes.
like I know we saw you in Redlands.
Yes, Laugh Local. It's there are a couple of comedians there, and they are doing their best to try to develop a local comedy scene in Redlands.
Right on.
Yep, and there's talk on our Facebook page about getting an open mic together. It's just the venues in Redlands are very difficult to break into because there's so much established events that are happening on a week to week.
Yeah.
That, I mean, they've shoehorned their way into every other Friday at the Royal Falconer. You're welcome, Mike. But yeah.
Well, so maybe Saturday night's your night.
Yeah, it might be. For them, I don't know exactly. They're still in talks and trying to find a venue to have a regular open mic out there. Maybe that will finally get me off the schneid, as it were. I haven't been in front of a microphone to try to make people laugh since my last time here. No, since maybe last summer. It's been a long time. Since moving out to Beaumont, it's just so far.
What Brian doesn't say, though, is he appears daily at Frisbee Middle School, entertaining middle school students.
Making them like math, which is a miracle.
Yes, exactly.
You may call me Mr. Hain.
Mr. Hain, I would like to know what you think of all these sex scandals.
Oh man, you go to oh man, and one of them, Louis C.K. I mean, stand-up comedian, and I read a couple of articles on his issues, and he thought he was okay because he was asking them for permission. Hashtag no, you're not okay. I think it's the loss of innocence and the loss of holding people that you might have once held in regard and now lose respect for because you find out what's in their closet. And that's not to say that everyone doesn't have things that they don't want to be aired out in public, but at the same time, I mean, these are people who kind of like signed up for being under the public lens of scrutiny, and now when it shines its brightest, we find some real ugly things in there.
It's the specific details that are coming out that I find the most disturbing, because you see patterns not just among the individual men and how they're dealing with women, but just in a broad category of how these guys sort of expose themselves to these women, how they use their power and their position to shut these women down, and how the women sadly seem to comply out of a great deal of fear. And now they're finally feeling comfortable to come forward, and of course many of them are being ridiculed and beaten up for coming forward, and it's exactly what they feared would happen is happening, even though these men are clearly, when you see case after case after case, are clearly the ones that are at fault. we still see people going after the women.
So, like the woman, and I don't want to say her name because I don't want to drag her through the mud, but the woman who made a case or had allegations against Al Franken, and apparently she posed for Playboy, and there's some pictures out there of her being scantily clad and then being kind of raunchy in her play with people.
Well, specifically on the same USO tour. Okay, my bias as a comedian is showing because I read all the stuff on Franken too. But specifically when they're on the USO tour where she accused Franken of all of his misdeeds, there are pictures on that exact same tour of her, yes, scantily clad, and yes, also like seemingly unwillingly kissing soldiers who do not appear to be enjoying that fact at all, as well as...
Oh, see, I haven't seen that.
Yes, as well as pictures of her groping male performers on stage, musicians that were also with them on the tour. And so speak out of both sides of your mouth, if you will, because she was accusing Franken of doing the exact same things that she's on camera doing. And so it's kind of discredited her claims against him
Gotcha.
quite a lot.
Well, let me just say that the point that I have, though, is, and they did this to Megyn Kelly, and they've done this to other women, is if there's a picture out there of you in lingerie or in a suggestive pose, then all bets are off, according to some of these guys. So that means, it means that, so you took a boudoir photo, and so that means I can do whatever I want with you. That means that I can help myself, is what it's coming from these guys. And I think that's wrong. Our culture put Hugh Hefner on this pedestal, like he is a god. He's got all of these women, blah, blah, blah. But then they treat the women, well, you're just the whores. He's the mastermind. He's the pimp. But man, you're just the whore. You don't have any value. And that's what women are pushing back against.
Well, and the woman who came forward against Al Franken, if you look at all the various claims against all these other men, she was actually quite gentle, if you could say that, in how she approached this, and quite respectful. I mean, she basically said, I don't want him to be forced out of office. I accept his apology. She immediately accepted his apology. She just felt compelled to say, look, this happened to me, and this is how I felt about it.
Do you know why she felt compelled to say that?
Because she heard the story from several of the other women. From other women who'd come forward.
Well, and he was being holier than thou when it came to, some of the conservative peccadillos.
Yeah. So, I don't, but it's interesting, and they still went after her. They still went after her, and obviously there's nothing bad's going to happen to Al Franken. He's not going to be resigned. He's not going to resign. He's not going to be forced out of office. He's embarrassed a little bit by it, mostly because there was a picture, I think that was the most embarrassing thing for him, And that's, I've had people say, well, what's the difference between this person and that person? Well, if there's a photo that shows you doing something, I'd say that's pretty clear evidence. You can't deny a photo,
And I think also what Aaron touched on was the underlying foundation of a lot of male locker room culture and this harem culture where it's okay for a guy, like if a guy says, oh, I've had 4 or 5 ex-girlfriends and 3 of them were okay, you know what I mean? I mean, that's slimy and gross. And then if a woman were to say the same thing and be like, yeah, I've had 3 or 4 boyfriends and, 2 of them were okay. Well, I mean, society values those two statements completely differently.
Yes, they do.
The guy is being just a guy, and the girl is being a whore.
A whore.
And that is completely wrong. Like if you're gonna say one person's right and one person's wrong, I think there might lie a huge break in the way that we judge people. And I think some of that is also coming through in all this scandal talk. Whether we vilify the woman because, as you said, she had a boudoir photo somewhere. That's not that men out there. This is not a flag of permission.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, but here's the idea. Sex is used to sell everything. Absolutely everything. You could, sex is used to sell the most mundane products. And so if you're put in front of men and boys growing into men that sex is out there for the purchase, then it's out there for the taking.
Yeah.
It means it's not valued. If you can buy it, you can steal it. And I think we have gone too far down the liberation path. I really do. Now there are no rules, and the reality is you start creating rules that are stupid, like every step of the way you got to ask permission, which is now what exists on campuses in California.
She's referencing sexual harassment trainings where they take new students and incoming freshmen, and they tell the guys, like, you need to ask permission every single time. I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder now. Is that okay? I believe that we are attracted to each other. Could I please brush the hair away from your face so that I might potentially kiss you for the first time? Is that okay?
That happens. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Talk about a mood killer.
I'd like to continue this conversation. Is that okay?
and if either person has had a drink, then you can do nothing because no consent can actually occur if anyone is even a slightly bit intoxicated. That's now stop. Just stop. Nope. Stop. Stop drinking. You can't do that.
Here's a thing that I don't understand, and I'll say this, and then we'll go to break and talk about it on the other side. But men have the stronger sexual drive. I know that the third wave feminists say that that's not true, but men do. Men do. And so when two people are drunk and he's the one with the genetic predisposition, the genetic drive, the genetic hunger, especially in their 20s, to have sex all the time, and she's not, why is he held responsible and she's not? Do you see where I'm going with this?
Potentially, I don't know. Maybe
I think they're both responsible.
Yeah,
I think they're both responsible. If he slips her a Mickey, that's something else. But I think they're both responsible. They both got drunk. They both just decided, had no inhibitions and did something that they regret the next day, or maybe that she regrets the next day. That doesn't make it rape. That doesn't make it sexual assault. We need to take responsibility for our own actions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not victim blaming. It's really not. It's empowering women. Think about how disempowering it is to make the women the victim all the time. Stop being a victim.
True.
And start behaving, young men.
She just wagged her finger at me. I feel
She did.
chastised.
Yes. Now you know what I live with daily.
All right, guys, it's time for a break. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
I'm Brian Hain.
And we will be right back.
Mark Christopher Auto Center presents the Vehicle Upgrade event. That's right. It's time for the model year end clearance and 2018 introduction at Mark Christopher Auto Center. That means you can consider more car than you anticipated for the money you want to spend. Chevys, Buicks, and GMC trucks. Some Cadillacs are sign and drive deals. As always, it's California's biggest and best selection, and it's never undersold. You'll find Mark Christopher Auto Center right on the 10 freeway in Ontario, or you can go to markchristopher.com. Mark Christopher is California's #1 volume GM dealer, family owned and doing things right since 1975. Remember, the giant model year-end clearance and vehicle upgrade event is on now at Mark Christopher Auto Center, Vineyard exit of Interstate 10 in Ontario.
So you missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty Health Share has the answer. Liberty Health Share offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. Even if you've already enrolled but are not satisfied with your choice, you can switch to Liberty Health Share today. Liberty Health Share allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their healthcare by allowing them to choose any doctor or hospital across the country, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. So members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on those without healthcare insurance, giving you freedom from insurance. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll any time of the year, call 855-585-4237, 855-585-4237, or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Not available in Pennsylvania.
It's time to make the Tri-City Center in Redlands a regular part of your weekly shopping experience. Tri-City is home to a wide assortment of quality businesses, including the all-new Ocean Aquatics. Check out their variety of exotic tropical fish, along with fish food, accessories, and tanks of all shapes and sizes. The Tri-City Center is located just off of Alabama and the Tennessee exits in Redlands. Visit the Tri-City Center today and find out why it's called the Mall with a Heart.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. And now introducing Quantum Nutrition Labs D3 Gold. 1,000 milligrams per serving, no artificial flavors or colorings. Buy one, get one 50% off. Call now, 888-588-7578, or visit us online, qnlabs.com.
This is KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Breaker.
And I'm Tobin Breaker.
Brian Hain here.
You didn't follow the pattern.
Present. Sorry, I'm out of school. I don't know what's happening.
Here, should we ring a bell?
Who was singing that song?
The Doobie Brothers.
That's okay. It was the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, taking it to the streets. Okay, got it.
And the lead singer was.
Michael McDonald.
That's what I thought. I couldn't think of his name. Michael McDonald.
I loved his voice.
Yes.
It is like hot cocoa on a Sunday morning. I love his voice. I do. So, who did you think it was, Brian?
I for 2 seconds I thought it was Barry White, and I'm like, that is way too high.
Yes,
But
it is.
it's got that same vibe and
That
feel.
kind of, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
like hot cocoa on a Sunday morning.
Oh, wrap me in a blanket.
So, yeah, Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers. So, there's something really cool that's happening on Friday night. Do you know what it is?
I'm not sure. Everyone gets to go home and sleep after shopping all day.
Tell me more.
It's the Festival of Lights at the Mission Inn.
Oh.
Dirt.
So, you
yeah.
know, you can take the Metrolink to the Festival of Lights at the Mission Inn?
That I did not know.
Traffic is terrible. I mean, like, beyond awful to get to the Mission Inn. You can take the Metrolink.
Huh. Did not know this.
Isn't that cool?
I did not know this at all.
It's very cool. And apparently last year they didn't have enough trains. This year they're doubling. They'll have more trains. Metrolink is boosting its train service to the Festival of Lights this year to ensure it can accommodate visitors to the popular holiday event. The service, which starts Friday, November 24th, will be the second year that the transit agency offered additional Friday and Saturday trains into Riverside for the festival at and near the Mission Inn. Demand turned out to be higher than expected last year, leaving some riders stranded in downtown Riverside or enduring lengthy waits. And you'll see the traffic to drive to get off of the freeway is like it's like backed up on the freeway for the lights. About 13,000 riders used Metrolink for the event last year. For this season, Metrolink has boosted service by 132% and will add 3 extra trains just for the event, which is on Friday. As with last year, the RTA will offer free shuttle service from the station to the Mission Inn and back. The Festival of Light train service will be available Fridays and Saturdays from November 24th to December 16th. Ticket prices is $7 round trip, and those 18 and under will ride for free. It's an extremely affordable event for families. Trains will be available on the Paris Valley, Los Angeles, and Orange County lines, and trains will depart at 9 p.m. on the Los Angeles bound line, 9:15 on the Orange County line, and 9:30 on the Paris line, so that you can get home. The holiday event draws about 500,000 visitors during the season to downtown.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Riverside is so smart, just getting those people downtown. I mean, they're going to walk around and spend money. And
of course they are.
Yeah.
They're going to get a cupcake, and they're going to have they're going to go to Las Campanas and have ceviche, and they're going to drink lots of wine and buy stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
The economy at work. The preceding message has been brought to you by the RTA.
Well, this is actually from the Press Enterprise, but yes. Hey, you know what? When they're doing a good thing, you got to give them props.
No, absolutely. I'm making fun of it, but it's absolutely a great thing to do. Coming from the East Coast, that's the one thing that's just dumbfounding to me is the lack of easily available always there public transportation.
Yes.
We just got back from a trip from Boston, my wife and some friends and I.
How fun.
And like we were at an Airbnb, and across the street from us was the T, which is their subway system. And we were no more than 15 minutes away from anywhere we wanted to be in downtown Boston or Cambridge, and maybe 1 or 2 transfers. And we were there. And it was that, to me, like, we Ubered twice, I think, because it was raining and we didn't want to wait in the rain for a bus. But beyond that, it's so easy to get around some of the East Coast cities because of their transportation system.
And out here, you hear people say over and over again. Now, I'm not talking about the train to nowhere, which is ridiculously, obscenely expensive with overruns on costs and whatever. But in a metropolitan area, you can't look at trains and buses and go, okay, where's the return on investment? In the same way that you can't look at a road and say, well, that road's not paying me back. Well, except that it facilitates commerce, except that it gets people from one place to another. The whole purpose of putting in a road is to allow people to work with one another, right? The whole purpose of getting to a road is of facilitating interaction for commerce. I mean, really, let's be honest. It's for commerce and also for family and fun and all those things. And I think that all of the cities need to have better public transportation.
I mean, the people that ride the buses in the morning and the afternoon during rush hour are getting to jobs.
Exactly. Or they're going to college.
Yes. And that can't be a bad thing.
No. Or maybe they want to go to a restaurant and they don't want to take their car. Maybe there's parking's a problem and it just doesn't make sense to me. What also doesn't make sense to me is that there's not a whole lot of interaction between the two cities, like San Bernardino and Riverside, which really are right next door to one another. Yeah. And, that should be easy to take public transportation back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. It's weird how I don't know, hamlety, I don't know the right word, like the counties are in Southern California.
Yes, provincial.
There you go. From the outside, like Riverside County is Riverside County, rah, rah, rah. And then San Bernardino County is San Bernardino County, rah, rah, rah. Even cities. Redlands, rah. Yeah,
it's like you're right next to Loma Linda, and you're right next to Highland.
Grand Terrace is like you can throw a rock and hit Grand Terrace. No offense to Grand Terrace.
They've thrown a lot of rocks at Grand Terrace over the years. I've seen the bruises. Seriously, there's a lot of bruises.
Really, Tobin?
I grew up in Grand Terrace.
With lots of bruising?
Yes. I'm very pale. The bruises show. Come on.
God, our conversation just took an unexpected left turn.
Not even at Albuquerque. This must be somewhere along the 10 freeway near Tippecanoe.
No. It's Area 51 is where it went.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, I'm a Colton boy. I grew up in Grand Terrace, but I'm a Colton boy, and we are very provincial in our towns.
It's actually true. Colton is provincial.
Yeah, and we love it.
Yeah, it seems that way for a lot of the towns up and down the 10 and the 15 and the 215 and the 57 and all the other freeways in Southern California that I don't know the name of.
We're all part of the Inland Empire. We are an empire, people, and you need to bow down and respect that.
Are you serious? Where the heck did that come from?
I'm just saying, the OC is constantly looking down their nose at us. So is LA. And we are some pretty, we're pretty cool out here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if we all get our inhale collectively at the same time and blow in the same direction, I'm sure we could send a wave of pollution out that way.
Right. Right.
God, some halitosis going on there.
I meant air pollution. Well, I guess that is air pollution. that is air pollution.
So with that, it's time for a break, and I'm going to play some music that is appropriate for the conversation that we just had. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
Brian Hain.
And we are on the brink, the morning show, and we'll be right back.
Come on, man. And with the local DBC news, LL Cool J with a triumphant comeback. For a solo. But tonight, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants, putting suckers in beer, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion. Overpowering over the competition. I'm towering, wrecking shop. When I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
And now, the Inland News Update with Blake Trolley.
A 20-year-old Fontana man who was out on bail has been arrested and charged with attempted murder in a Rialto drive-by shooting. Police report that Caleb Alexander Thomas shot at 3 people in a park area. However, nobody was injured. Court records show that Thomas was out on bail at the time, pending an assault and burglary case. He was arrested at his home late last Wednesday. So far, police say that the motive is still under investigation, as police are still investigating if Thomas and the victims did know each other or if the shooting was gang-related. If you bought a salad at Trader Joe's recently, you might want to make sure it hasn't been recalled. Trader Joe's announced on its website Saturday that 3 of its packaged salad varieties with use-by dates between November 10th and November 21st may contain pieces of glass or hard plastic. The recall has been issued on white meat chicken and curried white chicken deli salads sold in many states such as Arizona, California, Nevada, and many more. As we all know, the snowboarding season in Southern California is always unpredictable. Well, at least now we have some sort of an idea. A Mountain High employee predicted yesterday that he expects the ski resort to open to public early next month when this week's record high temperatures subside and give way to more average weather for the season. One thing to note is that Mountain High in Wrightwood is the only ski resort basing its opening day around this week's heat wave. Hollywood actor Jeremy Piven has just gone the extra mile in effort to maintain his innocence. That's right, after sexual assault accusations surfaced about Piven, Piven responded by saying that he would be willing to take a polygraph test to prove his innocence. Well, it is now being reported that Piven took the polygraph test on November 13th, and the results are in, claiming that he did pass. It has also been reported that the blast did receive a copy of the exam, which was administered by the American Polygraph Association.
It's time for your KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3 traffic report. I'm Erin Brinker. In the Bermuda Dunes on the 10 eastbound before the 86, there's a SIG alert. An injury, crash, and spill have all lanes blocked, and there's stop traffic from Bob Hope Drive. In Riverside County on the 15 southbound between the 215 South and Rainbow Valley Boulevard, there's stop-and-go traffic. In Redlands on the 10 eastbound approaching Wabash Avenue, a stalled car is in the center divider, and it's close to passing traffic. This has been your KCAA traffic report. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
Hi, it's Jan Elliott in Snow Country. As we get closer to our Thanksgiving holiday weekend, we get closer to seeing more trails coming online and more areas opening up too. Now there is skiing and riding this week at Mammoth with close to 70 trails off of 12 lifts. They are reporting machine groom pack powder, picking up snow in the latest storms. That's anywhere from 21 to 80 inches of new snow, and they already have a base that ranges from 20 to 60 inches at Mammoth. Skiing and riding at Squaw Valley, and after yesterday's wet weather moved out, looks like they've got some clearer skies today, some wet pack conditions, turning the aerial tram and the Funnatel tram on the lower mountain at Squaw Valley off the front side, and the upper mountain has 6 lifts turning, mostly beginner and intermediate trails available there. Alpine Meadows is in the mix with limited terrain. Arizona Snow Bowl opens up with 4 trails, also reporting machine groom variable conditions. I'm Jan Elliott on the trifecta of talk, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this morning, we can expect a sunny day with a high of 90. It'll be clear overnight with a low of 61. Wednesday looks to be sunny, even warmer with a high of 93. It'll be clear Wednesday night with a low of 64. For Thanksgiving Day, it'll be sunny and hot with a high of 95. Clear skies are on tap for Thursday night with a low of 60. Friday will wrap up the week with sunshine and a high near 90. I'm Rod Tanner, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California. KCAA 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and the Legacy, 1050 AM Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Broadcasting more local radio programs than any other station in California. We are KCAA.
I'm something weak. You got me begging, begging.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Brian Haynes.
And we are on the brink, the morning show here on KCAA. So glad to have you with us this morning. I am excited that we are almost at Give Big, San Bernardino County. Giving Tuesday is, 1 week? What is today, Tuesday?
Today's
1 week
Tuesday,
from today. So you have not Good Friday. You have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and then Giving Tuesday. But we recommend that you save your money and you give now, because you can give now for Give Big San Bernardino County. And to tell us more about that, I want to welcome Andrea Mitchell to the show.
Good morning,
Good
Brinkers.
morning.
Good
So
morning.
glad to have you with us. I said Andrea. It's Andrea. My bad.
It's okay. You can call me anything, Erin Brinker.
Okay, Fred.
That's fine, Wilma.
Without a missing a beat.
No, but the thing is, I think Tobin would be. We better not confuse the audience. Okay, Pebbles, is that better?
Pebbles. There you go. Bam, bam.
Yes, there you go.
All the younger kids are like, what are they talking about? It's the Flintstones, folks.
Because our listeners are all 12.
Yeah, should we go into the Jetsons? I'd rather do that, actually. And today, since we're talking about cyberspace, we might as well go into the Jetsons.
That's right. That's right. So, tell us about, give us an update on Give Big.
Give Big is, oh my gosh, it's a week away, which is, I remember when we started this effort in January and February of last year. It was like, oh, we have so much time, and now it's a week away, which is fantastic. We have over 100 nonprofits who have committed their time to participating in this wonderful campaign, which means they're committed to their sustainability and growing their organizations to better serve the community, which is phenomenal. We have some that are brand new, which is kind of nice as well. But we have some that have been with us for all 4 years. Great organizations, and Erin and Tobin, as you know, we have. If you're interested in the arts, we have organizations supporting the arts. We have organizations supporting veterans. We have organizations supporting entrepreneurial efforts. We have organizations supporting seniors, healthy eating, specific environmental causes. Puppies and kittens are favorites. Children and the development of children and parenting. Any interest you have, we have a nonprofit that is there to support it. And on November 28th, beginning at midnight, is the official day of the campaign. So, but as you mentioned, you can donate now also. And it's an online giving campaign that is really here to bring awareness of philanthropy to the community, and also of the hard work of these nonprofits. And people can go on www.givebigsbcounty.org to make a donation between now and the end, 11:59 and 59 seconds on November 28th, and it will count towards the campaign.
So there's a big purple donate button right at the top at givebigsbcounty.org, and you click on that button, and you'll get a list of all kinds of nonprofits. So you can give to literally whatever suits your fancy. So Brian, I'm going to ask you, what kind of charities, and put you on the spot, what kind of charities do you support? What's important to you?
Well, one of the charities are veterans, and here's why. One of the churches that I attended worked with a homeless vet in the area here, right here in Loma Linda, in the Redlands area, and when you put a face to a situation, it becomes a lot more easy to help understand what's going on.
Yep.
And for me, when I was working with that vet and found out a lot of his PTSD, a lot of the reasons his family didn't accept him back, a lot of the things that were going on with him, and the difficulty he had getting care, even though the VA is gigantic and literally down the street from his corner. That was extremely eye-opening to me. And in talking with other people that are vets that are not in that situation, they can share stories as well of just people they know that have fallen on hard times and just don't know how to get out of a military culture where you're literally told, get up, go to sleep, do this, stand here, don't do that, do this for 15 minutes, do that for 25 minutes, and then all of that's taken away from them. it becomes exceedingly difficult to kind of just reintegrate into mainstream culture. So veteran care and veterans in general have been something that have struck a chord with me since that time about 5 years ago.
And there are organizations out there in participating in the Give Back campaign. Front Sight Ministry is one, which is supporting the veterans. There's also a project under Grid, what's it called?
Grid Alternatives?
Grid Alternatives, Troops to Solar. So it's a training program to get veterans into solar installing and things like that. Also, if you think about so many veterans and San Bernardino has made incredible progress towards housing veterans.
Yeah.
That being said, there are always, they made a commitment to housing a certain number of known homeless veterans over the course of a year. They did it. That being said, there are always new ones that pop up. So there are organizations that support housing veterans. Morongo Basin has a substantial problem with homeless individuals.
Well, because they're right out there by that Marine base.
Right, exactly. And so Morongo Basin Haven is a place that works with veterans. So, Brian, there are causes out there. Stack Health System is a Veterans Choice Health provider. So if they are having difficulty navigating the healthcare system at the VA, and our VA friends are amazing. There are just so many people that need help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there are plenty of organizations out there that would welcome support from you. Welcome support from you.
What?
And what other interest does anybody have? Because I have a whole long list of 102 nonprofits that have committed.
Well, what I was going to say is that what I love about Give Big is that you get to do this really thoughtful giving, and you can just sort of kind of like shop for the nonprofit that perfectly fits what you want or what you want to support. But when I think about for Aaron and I, we're sort of deeply invested in children's issues and education issues, but at the same time we have a deep heart for animals, and so I could totally see us. We haven't done it yet, but I could see us. Well, I'd say we haven't done it. We've given sporadically to different animal charities, but to pick out charitable groups in those categories for us, I think that would be the ones that we would focus on.
And it's interesting because there is a group. Of course, there's the Infant Toddler Success Program,
yes.
which that's a shameless plug for.
Well, thank you, and we're part of the Community Foundation, so you can find us under the Community Foundation.
Yes, you can, and there are many other organizations out there that Ready for Reading Book Club, which is a brand new organization, and they're delightful. They work obviously to bring books to elementary schools and provide those to the kids. Many of the other programs out there, Operation New Hope works with kids. There are so many out there. When it comes to puppies and kittens, I have to support our friends at ARF, Animals Are First Fund, I believe.
Yes.
Which is a foundation under the San Bernardino County Public Health Department. And they show up at our events all the time with adorable puppies. Yes, and they've become my friends. So there are plenty of organizations out there, and there's the Morongo Basin Humane Society, which has done very well in every campaign. Those ladies work hard, and largely these are small nonprofits, largely run by an all-volunteer staff, and so the dollars that go to them are really meaningful dollars. Oftentimes they rely just on bake sales and things like that. And so this oftentimes doubles their annual operating budget, so they can do so much more. Again, and largely volunteer run.
So did you know that there is, and I know that you know this, Andrea, but did you know that there's a zoo in Big Bear?
I did, yes. The Big Bear community, yes. There's a Big Bear Zoo. I think it's called the Alpine Zoo. And that is under, it's one of the nonprofits that's participating.
It is Friends of the Moon Ridge Zoo, DBA, Friends of the Big Bear Alpine Zoo. And Tobin, did you know there was a zoo up there, or Brian?
I did. I used to have a season pass to Big Bear, the ski resorts.
And
so it's actually right along one of the same roads. And so you pass by to get to the resort, and there's always a sign that says, "Go to the Moon Ridge Zoo. We're closed because it's winter." But you know, like I always, that's how I knew it because I used to have a season pass up there.
You can cross country ski by it. There's like a little trail right around there too.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know,
Yes,
that would be
Aaron.
cool.
Yes, Aaron. We
That-
should head up there.
That would be really fun. Cross country skiing is really fun, although I haven't done it in quite a while.
Well, and just to let you know, Mammoth is open, and I heard on your report, Mammoth is open, has lots of snow. So unfortunately, it's going to be 95 degrees on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what is up with that? Good
Global warming
grief.
is fake. I'm joking. I'm sorry to make this environmental.
Well, speaking of environmental charities,
way to transition there.
Excellent transition. Oh, we have a lot. We have the Mojave Desert Land Trust, which really works out in the Mojave Desert. Obviously, by the name, you can tell that. We have I think it's Friends of the San Gorgonio, or the San Gorgonio Mountains Foundation. That's another one, and San Gorgonio Wilderness Association. So we have plenty of environmental groups. Streams in the Desert Foundation, which is actually an incubator for a lot of nonprofits out here. California Desert Land Conservancy and Joshua Tree, which is Mojave Desert Land Trust. So we have plenty of environmental organizations participating in this campaign. And, you know, San Bernardino County is incredibly diverse when it comes to our natural resources. And so if you have any interest in that, I oftentimes spend a lot of time Pacific Crest Trail and things like that. So head on over to www.givebigsbcounty.org and just shop. I like, Tobin, your analogy of it's like a menu.
Yep.
It's like going to when we go shop at Zappos or Amazon. You know, it's just looking through. They make their pitch. You know, some have videos, some have images, but they tell you what they do, and so you can just kind of just search and just browse and find a nonprofit that suits your fancy.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, I'm looking at the website. It got 125 results. It's sortable by category, by type of fundraiser. I didn't know 99.9 of these even existed until I started clicking around the different ones that you have there. And awareness has got to be huge just to get the word out that they even exist.
Yep, we are so thankful. The sponsors this year, we are so thankful because a lot of this, you know, San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors, we are very thankful for them. They have supported this campaign for 4 years, and we should thank the Board of Supervisors because they believe in the nonprofit sector. We also should thank our sponsors. San Manuel Band of Mission Indians stepped up big time to support this campaign. California Endowment, Southern California Edison, Cardenas Market, NBC4, Cal State San Bernardino, and very important, the number one sponsor, KCAA Radio. Yay, right. Another shameless plug. Union Bank also, and we have the Southern California News Group, which has all the local papers. You should be seeing soon, very soon, if you haven't already, some advertisements and ad pictorials is what they're called, talking about the campaign. So we really, again, bringing awareness to the nonprofits. So many of us, we go about our daily lives. Oftentimes these nonprofits don't have budgets for advertising or outreach, as they would call it. So they kind of rely on word of mouth or Facebook and things like that. But this campaign, that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to show people the good work that these nonprofits do and to allow individuals to support them.
So we are completely out of time. One more time, give the website and the day to give big.
All right. Thank you so much. www.givebigsbcounty.org. And November 28th is the day of giving. I support and thank KCAA for your support.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to be talking to you a couple more times before the big day, right?
Excellent. Yes, we are. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. So, Andrea Mitchell, as always, what a treat to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so it's time for a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Brian Hain.
And we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I'm Jingles the Elf. Come on down to the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands this holiday season. Get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. You could even get some gourmet ice cream treats at La Michoacana. Moms and grandmas who visit the mall can kick off their elf shoes and relax while getting treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails, and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers that care about you for the holidays. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the Mall with a Heart.
When your Little League team or scout troop needed to raise money, who did you go to see first? If you're like most people, you went to your local merchants. You asked them to put ads in your programs, buy your raffle tickets, donate goods and services to your fundraiser, and so forth. Many times they can't afford to do it, but because they're part of the community, they do it anyway. The least we can do is to show some appreciation by shopping their stores whenever possible. This holiday season, invest in your own future and do your shopping here at home.
In Redlands, shop at your local hometown business on State Street or along Redlands Boulevard. This message from KCAA Radio Cares, kcaaradio.com, or on 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM, your trifecta of talk in Southern California. Make sure you're ready for Small Business Saturday on November 25th.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Aladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early. Purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Aladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
Want it easy? To listen to KCAA on your smartphone, that is, listen to your favorite programs easily. No more buffering, waiting, frustration, or downloading a special app. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and 102.3 FM have made it as easy as dialing the phone. Call our special dial-up phone number and listen until your heart's content. Listen in your Snuggie. Or whatever. Just listen, or even on the road. Call 1-701-801-4444. That's 1-701-801-4444. And get ready to have your mind expanded on the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. You can also listen at kcaaradio.com.
Father John Reed.
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants in your room. It's for fun.
Atheist pastor Luke King.
I don't believe in God. I believe in science.
The Gospel of Luke and John.
I'm Father John Reed.
And I'm Luke King. Join us for Our Gospel, the Gospel of Luke and John, our new show.
The most divine hour on radio, somewhere between Billy Graham and the Young Turks.
Right here, starting on October 19th at 8 p.m. on the stations that leave no listener behind.
KCAA 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and 102.3 FM. Or stream us live at kcaaradio.com.
Luke.
John.
8 p.m. every Thursday.
KCAA.
You really got me going. You got me
so I don't know what I'm doing.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Brian Haynes.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. Don't you hate it when you play the wrong song? Like, you have your mind on one song, and it comes out with another song?
I thought that transition was rather abrupt.
It was. So that was just, me being, not professional this morning.
Just keeping our listeners on our toes.
That's right. Wake up. So I meant to play the Kinks, and I accidentally clicked on Gretchen Wilson, who is also good, but I wanted to play the Kinks because I'm in that kind of mood.
Yeah, and like it brings up the energy level.
It does.
When she doesn't like things that I'm saying, the music gets louder.
The secret has been revealed.
I could just turn off your mic. You know that, right?
She tries to do it at home too, but it doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work that way.
I'm eating popcorn. I'm eating popcorn.
Right. We have the opposite problem at home. The opposite problem.
Yes.
We get home and there's TV goes on. And Tobin's either watching football on Sundays or he's watching The Flash, which is
binge watching
The Flash.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, woo, we're here. Hi. We're talking.
Our daughter was home last night for the first time in several nights, and trying to have a nice family conversation. And apparently, I wasn't being attentive enough because I was watching television, eating my meal, and playing on my phone at the same time. And so I had to turn it all off.
See, and men can't multitask. That's pure multitask. How many different tasks was that? You're watching TV. You're on your phone. You were eating.
And I was engaging in a conversation.
But
and when asked about the conversation,
you were not engaging in a conversation.
And when asked about the conversation, I knew everything that had been said for the last 30 seconds.
Okay, but that's not engaging in a conversation. That's looking at me annoyed and saying and repeating the key points of the last 30 seconds.
I'll quote a comedian who said, if you want to know what a man feels like when a woman walks in front of the TV watching football, then be a man that walks in front of the TV when The Bachelorette is on.
Oh, I hate that show.
Well, thankfully, and I'm sure that you resemble only like a sliver of a percentage.
I know it's true. I also don't like to shop, so they're going to kick me out of the women club.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to turn off all my devices and the television and sit there politely and listen and engage.
It was awful. Poor baby.
I've also had to do that.
Right? Because it's important that we're present with one another.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. During life's events or during anything that you're in, it's so hard to not pick up a phone and try to take a selfie of the moment rather than just try to remember.
Right.
And be there.
Enrich your lives.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a photographer in your own life. You want to be a participant in your own life. Right?
Yes.
I mean, so take pictures of what you're doing. That's fine. But, you don't have to document everything.
But Erin, it doesn't exist if it's not liked on social media.
Apparently, right?
Or the better way to do it is just get one of those GoPros on a helmet and wear it 24/7.
Oh my gosh. I do want to put GoPros on our cats.
Right.
There's a YouTube video of a GoPro on a dog.
I bet it's awesome.
Yeah, the guy leaves to go to work, and he wants to know what his dog does. And his dog rummaged around in his laundry basket, made a nest out of his old clothes, and spent time sleeping where it smelled. I know, it was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Good morning.
Oh, that means your dog loves you.
It does.
So with this, it's time. We're at the end of our show for today. Brian, it's always a treat to have you with us.
Thank you for having me back.
You are so much fun.
Thank you.
And so I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
Still Brian Hayne.
And we are on the Break the Morning Show on KCAA. Have a great day, everybody.
Come on, man. And with the local DBC news, LL Cool J with a triumphant comeback. But tonight, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC. Stock futures are higher because of very strong earnings news. Lowe's income more than doubled because of hurricanes and strong sales to contractors. Urban Outfitters